Welcome to Last Time Online. This episode is brought to you by Dogma Games, my very own game studio. I'm currently working on my first game called Wake Out of Twilight. Wake Out of Twilight is a 2D platformer game based in a futuristic dystopia where nearly all parts of life are automated. Life couldn't get any easier, but the price to pay was more than anybody agreed to. Navigate through traps, obstacles, and puzzles in order to save everybody from the nightmare. If you would like to be the first to know when I have updates or when the game is releasing, you can go to Steam and wishlist the game. Now, let's get on with the episode. What's up, gamers? Welcome to another episode of Last Time Online. This is the nerdy podcast where the nerds talk about the nerdy stuff, and I am George, and we like to start off this podcast by talking about the things that we've been doing over the weekend, or over the week. But first, our crew today is, we have Anthony.
Hey yo!
And Alvaro.
Hi.
Jonathan.
Stitch is back again.
Max.
Hello.
And Justin.
Welcome.
Yeah, and so, to start off the nerd report, I will say that I've gone back to Cyberpunk because I haven't played the new updated versions for the new generation of consoles. It's mostly good now. There's still a few bugs, but like non-functional or not like game breaking bugs or anything anymore. Haven't crashed since I've had it, but I'm starting to play it as like a totally new character. Let's see. Besides the other stuff that we're going to talk about, I ended up going back and watching the Devolver Digital show from the Summer Games Fest.
You're welcome.
Here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing about that. I mostly liked it.
Oh my god.
It took me a while. I really didn't like it in the beginning, but then the jokes started getting to me, and I'm like, okay, some of these are actually clever. And then by the end of it, I figured, like, you know what? This is like the video game version of Taco Bell and Jack in the Box commercials and Mountain Dew commercials. That's what I felt like. I felt like it was like the same thing, you know. Do you guys remember that commercial that was like the puppy monkey baby commercial that was like so freaking weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the video game showcase version of that. But the games that I saw were cool. That one I think that you saw, like, that you liked, Jonathan, the Cult of the Lamb one. That one looked like Stardew Valley mixed with Happy Tree Friends, and I really liked the
Plucky Squire.
Yeah, the Plucky Squire. That was the one that I really liked. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
That looked like it had Little Big Planet vibes, which I'm
That
all
was
for.
my game of the.
Oh,
of
that
Summer
was the
Games
one.
Fest.
That was the one you
Yeah,
liked.
that one.
Okay, I thought you liked the other one, but yeah, I thought the Plucky Squire, that one was really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that is all. Yeah, and then as some of you guys can see, my game's being played in the background. Still working on that. I've finally gotten back into it since I've been kind of taking a break from it. I took about a week break from it after I released my demo, but I'm getting back into it. So, and that is my week. And for the next one in the nerd report, we will move to Anthony.
Hey yo! So Sorry, it's playing George's game. Demo's pretty fun. Download it, get it, play it, love it, enjoy it, be it. Minor report, so I don't got much to say really other than past week I was at Disneyland for a couple days with my niece and nephew. Got this lovely shield. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me get it real quick, show you.
Oh. We got the swag in the background.
Mm.
The
Hopefully our
swag.
viewers will be able to see this because they have the Avengers line open up, and I went to their superstore and I seen this, and my nerd site came out. Your mic's backwards, and I had to.
Yeah, we can still kind of hear you, but yeah.
Yeah.
He sounds distant.
little sidetrack on the sound. So I got this. They lied to me about the price, but it was even lower than what they said.
Oh,
Cost a little penny, but I enjoy it thoroughly. Played the new we're the new ride Web Slingers. Very fun game. Need 4 people though. Best with 4 people. Aside from that, just been catching up on anime, spending time with my daughter, and that's just about it.
money well spent. Sounds like a nice week. And
Did
money
you see
well spent.
the Infinity Stones, Anthony?
I did. And my nephew was trying to get me to buy the Iron Man
Oh,
replica outsuit for like 7,000. I was like, nah, I'm gonna pass on that.
How much was the nano glove? Like $100?
It was somewhere around there. Yeah.
I seen the Loki scepter though. That one looked really cool.
Oh yeah. I went in there and I was like, I can't be in here very long, or I'm gonna spend way too much money.
It
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Can you really put a price on cool stuff though?
I mean, yeah, it's
No.
called the price tag.
I mean, the last
$7,000.
time I went to Disneyland was with you guys, and I'm pretty sure I dropped like what, Max? How much did we drop just on the lightsaber and robot? Like about $500.
The lightsaber was $250. I think the droid was like 100 or 125. It was something like that.
And then you had to get the extra, the crystals for the lightsaber. Had to get the extra components for the droid and all that stuff. And
I mean, you didn't have to.
No. You have to. You got to have the customization. And so every time I go, I spend a lot of money.
Not a true
Disneyland.
fan unless you have all the crystals.
I'm
especially the
missing
black one.
the elusive black one,
The
which
black
is just
one.
but it's just a red one, red color, but I still want it.
But it's black.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
It's black on the outside, red on the inside.
Something like that.
Just like your heart.
Hey!
That was beautiful.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a blast though. Overall, lines weren't too long. Wait times were on average like maybe 30 minutes for some of the long rides if you got in early for them.
I haven't been in a while. That sounds short though. That's short, right?
It was actually pretty good. So went on every single ride except for Pirates and Nemo because they were down for refurbishment, and Toonland, which sucked because I love Roger Rabbit.
We gotta go so that George can make a lightsaber.
Yes, George.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's a cool experience, my dude.
But yeah, that's about it. So
Yeah, I actually coincidentally I was like watching like a video of people like rating like vegan food at Disneyland, but irrelevant though. We'll move on and then we'll go with Alvaro next.
My week's mostly been, well, I've been outside the house. I haven't really done much gaming. I went to a Halsey show in your neck of the woods, George. It was out in by Sunnyvale. They had a band open up, the Marias. Got their shirt. And I did get the Halsey one. I was supposed to give it to my sister. I gave it to her to pick it up, but she forgot it, so here it is.
This is a very visual podcast this week.
Yeah.
I know we have like show and tell this week. Yeah, if you're listening, go check out the
don't
YouTube
have
video.
anything.
Yeah, we even got like little Pac-Man ghosts in the background, little Easter eggs for the viewers. But yeah, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It was a really good show. Saturday, how did I do on Saturday? Obviously it wasn't that memorable, but Sunday I went with my sister out to Columbia, Sonora, so that was a fun time. We went to a cidery, and went to another brewery as well, so that was a good time. Other than that, I watched Ambulance, Michael Bay's latest classic. It's very noisy. That's about all I can say about it.
That's every Michael Bay movie.
But as soon as I saw it, I was like, it's very forgettable, unfortunately. As nice as it looks, as well made, and like, I do like how they use everything. It's like mostly all realistic. It's all like real stunts and stuff, so that's cool. But it's no Top Gun.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I do have.
Yeah, you can't compare it to that.
Yeah.
I am. If they're gonna use like realistic stuff.
No, I watched
like
that
all real
movie the same
flies
week as Top Gun 2, and yeah, it kind of ruined the movie for me.
So yeah. Other than that, I have True Romance coming in, which I haven't seen in like 10 years. And I think the God of War release date is this week. I doubt it, but we'll see. It's supposed to be tomorrow, but I don't think so.
You mean release date announced? you know,
Announcement.
announcement,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yes.
Yeah.
Exciting. Very. I hope so too.
We'll see. But that's it.
All right, cool. Moving on. Jonathan next.
Okay. This week, actually, I got a lot done this week. Over the weekend, we went to see the opening of the Lathrop Police Department. It was nice. Got a grand tour. We got the super
Wait, you went
secret.
to? Okay, keep
We
going.
went. We took a
Oh
tour
my
of a police
God.
station. Brand
You're over here
new.
doxing yourself.
Very nice. We got the VIP tour because we got the hookups, the parental hookup. And on the media side of things, I started watching The Boys. I'm about halfway through season 2. I'm really enjoying it. Very brutal, obviously, and I think I'm gonna slow down my pace so that way I can finish season 3 by the time the finale comes out next Friday, right? Because it's 8 episodes, so it'll be, I think episode 7 comes out this week and 8 next week. And I was watching some movies on the old cable television. I watched Planes, Trains, and Automobiles for the first time. It was really good. I did not realize that John Candy lived into the 2000s. Like, I thought he died in the 90s, but that movie was in 2001. So obviously, he lived longer than.
Planes, Trains, and
think
Automobiles
so.
is not.
I
It's
don't
in the
think
80s,
so.
dude.
That's not
Yeah,
what
I
it
think-
said on the TV.
That's like 85.
It
Yeah,
might have
that's
been.
old.
It might have been a re-release version, but it was saying 2001.
The walkie-talkie version.
1987.
I was gonna say the
Yeah,
internet.
that was weird. Yeah, then the TV lied to me. But anyway, it was good. I don't know why it said 2001. That's weird.
You didn't think it was a bad looking film quality wise for the 2000s?
No, it looked good. And the Paramount channel had Rush Hour playing all Sunday. So after work, I was watching Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3. Great movies.
Classic.
My favorite. Probably my favorite trilogy. To be honest. Even 3.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You like 3?
3's good.
No.
I literally just rewatched it. It's not the best one. It's obviously the worst one because 1 and 2 are great, but I still enjoy 3. It's not a terrible movie.
So you see it as like one of those. I mean, because you have to think number 1's the best one, right? But
Actually,
No.
2 is the best one.
Is it? Oh, okay. I guess I don't remember that much.
I think so. I don't know if that is the common consensus.
You never touch a Chinaman's radio. Come on.
Okay.
But it is plainly obvious that they could never make another Rush Hour. I mean, without completely neutering the movie. I know a lot of people would get excited for Rush Hour 4 probably, but I just don't see. I don't see how they could do it without neutering it, because even before they play the movie, it plays that warning about this movie shows outdated views and blah blah blah, saying here you can enjoy this movie but it's kind of out of date. Casual racism, you know what I mean?
I also think
Continue the casual racism. Who cares?
I also think Jackie Chan is a little old to be doing Rush Hour movies, my dude.
Jackie Chan is still kicking ass in, what, is he 60?
He is? I thought he retired.
No,
I was like, he's like 70 something.
He's still,
I haven't
No,
seen
no.
his
he
last.
still makes
that came
movies.
out.
No. Maybe he's like 50. I think he's like 50 something, not 70 something.
No way.
No, he's probably closer to
He's
70.
pretty closer to 70 than 50.
He's probably in his
Yeah.
60s, maybe late 60s.
He is
He's still,
68.
there we go. I think he's still making movies though.
He's at the age where
China.
he's at the age where he's not the main character anymore. He plays like the sensei that teaches the main character. That's
Yep.
I'm okay with that.
So you
I'm
mean
okay with
Live
that
action
too.
Uruguay.
Yeah.
So Karate Kid, right?
He could
Yeah,
be-
yeah. More Karate Kid
That's like
basically.
15 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
Could be he could be the police chief.
Yeah.
And on the video game side of things, I've been our last episode inspired me. I've been playing Final Fantasy V, the Game Boy Advance version, on my retro. I'll do my show and tell right here. My retro handhelds. I've been playing the Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy V, and it's really good, but I can kind of see why nobody talks about it. It's kind of an oddball Final Fantasy, but it's still really enjoyable. And I watched Obi Wan for this episode. Yeah.
You didn't have to.
I want to participate. No, I didn't, and I didn't talk about it. And I mentioned that Chinese show that I watched a couple weeks ago. I finished it last week. I didn't mention it. I had made a comment 2 weeks ago that said it was predictable. It got very unpredictable very quickly towards the end. It had a lot of random twists that didn't need to happen.
In a good way or bad way?
I mean, it was still enjoyable, but I feel like it was in a bad way because there's an alternate ending, which is pretty much they just cut out the last 2 episodes. They just like dense it and skip over all the twists, and yeah, I was like, why did I just watch this alternate ending? It was just like a re-edit. It wasn't terrible, but I can't in good conscience recommend it to really anybody. Unless you want to see the cool looking. Yeah. Unless the food looks really good, but that's just about it.
We watch the shitty stuff, so you don't have to at home.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, it was wild. But that was my week.
All right, cool. Max next.
I was gone last week because Lewis and I decided to go watch The Thing. Fathom Events did the 40th anniversary of The Thing and the not shitty presentation version. So Lewis and I ended up going. After 40 years, it's still one of the best practical effects movies ever. Like, if you've never seen it, check it out. I know they're doing another... The recent showing did well enough that they added an additional date, which I think is July 6th. So if you guys have never seen it, it's going to be shown the proper way, not the first version way that they did it. But you should give it a shot. At the very least, watch it at home. They showed it on TV a lot. Very good. Last week, I also went through the demo. If you're watching for George's game, if you're watching our stream right now, Anthony's not doing the best job at it, but he's trying his best.
He's at the hard part right now. This is where I know everybody dies.
This is not the hard part yet.
Oh,
nah, not for me. It's coming up though. But it's a very fun demo. You should give it a go. It probably will vary how long it'll take you, because I asked George. He said it should probably take about 30 minutes to do, and I went on about an hour and a half. I died a lot, which was good because it meant the game was challenging, and there is a sound effect in the game, pretty much the one that Anthony keeps hitting, the sound that makes. I got angry and I muted the computer because I got tired of hearing it. But like I said, that means it's a good game. It's a good challenge. So
yeah, I mean,
give it a go. No, it's fine how it is. The challenge. Yeah. But if you are interested, give the demo a go. Send George some feedback so he knows what he can do to fix the game if anything you think needs fixing. Yes. This past week, I was lagging on a show on Prime. The final season's been out for a while. It's called Goliath. It's a Billy Bob Thornton lawyer show on Amazon Prime. Very good show. Dude's still a really good actor, and he kind of disappeared from everything for a while. But if you like adult lawyer shows, give it a go. Sunday night, I made the mistake of staying after work to watch Jurassic World Dominion. Not the best movie. I don't get why this is the 6th movie in the series and their plot point is still, we think it's a good idea to make dinosaurs in the lab.
Hey, but it's always that guy.
It's the same
It was-
Asian guy. He's trying to
yeah.
prove everybody wrong. He's
It's-
right.
I felt similarly that I did with the recent Scream movie, that if they did not have the original characters, that the movie would be garbage. Because like their stuff was the only stuff that I kind of enjoyed, even though they kind of turned them into like action heroes, which they kind of are not supposed to be. They're more like scientists and whatnot. But I got to get the action going, I guess. And for some reason, Chris Pratt feels like he's trying to be like overly manly in some of the sequences. Like his voice changes in some parts where he's trying to talk in like a deeper, stronger voice.
It's like he's trying to talk down Thor still in the other
I was
movies.
gonna say
that.
Yeah, but yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. And last night I stayed after work and I watched The Black Phone, which I thought was excellent. It's not as horror themed as I thought it was going to be. It does have its little like creepy moments and stuff, but it's actually more of a character movie, more dramatic if anything. But I thought it was really good, and it has one of the most satisfying like climaxes of a movie that I've seen in a while. Top Guns is good, but like the whole movie's kind of like that. This one is more of a build up to what happens at the end. And I thought it was like perfectly done. So I highly recommend that one.
Nice. Where did you find this again? Is it
The Black Phone?
Yeah. How old
The
is
movie
it?
in theaters.
everywhere.
It's in the theaters.
Oh,
It just
Missed
came out.
you.
It just came out this past
Oh,
weekend.
wait, is it the one?
Ethan
know
Hawke as the
yeah,
mask?
okay.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I was slightly interested just from like the poster. I mean, it looks kind of cool, but I just haven't heard anyone talk about it. So
yeah, if you intend to watch it, try not to watch any trailers or read anything about it. Like I saw a teaser trailer for it, and that's all I had seen. But I'm a really big fan of the director, so that's why I figured I'd give it a go. But yeah, it was very good. You guys should all check it out.
Nice, cool.
And that was it for me for this week.
All right, cool. Yeah, and then to kind of reiterate what Max was saying, I am collecting bugs and feedback. Please, we'll go back and play the game. Yeah, but the first thing that we're going to get into, today.
Right now.
Yeah, I actually kind of love this. I love that we're like all watching you play the demo right now. It's kind of cool. But anyway, the first thing we were trying to get into today is there was a mini Nintendo Direct over the week, and was it 2 days ago?
This
Was it
morning.
this
It was
morning?
yesterday.
Very early in the
it
morning,
was
though, right?
yesterday.
Yeah, it was very. I think it was
Yesterday.
morning.
Yeah, it was very early in the morning. I watched it, and I think Jonathan and I are the only ones that watched it. I mean, Jonathan maybe have. You saw it too, Justin?
Yep.
Sweet.
I didn't do my nerd report, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
I was going to point it out.
Yeah. Well, before we get into that, we should. Justin, how about your nerd report?
I know.
Okay.
Sounds similar.
Let me defend myself. Okay. Like the past few weeks, we've had like 6 people, and all I had to do was like do a little snake thing around the images, and I knew I got all the nerd report, and then we have an extra square today. So, but yeah, Justin, my bad.
It's fine. I'll be quick. I did more outside of things than actually play video games this week. I also went to Lathrop to see a police station, because we live in a terrible.
Okay. Go.
Also, oh no, I was gonna say also because we live in a terrible place and it's always hot as hell. I went swimming a couple times because why not? Oh, I actually got a book, and I'm not one for reading. I mean, I know how to read, but I got a book. It's Zachary Levi's book, Radical Love. I have not started it yet. Alexis is reading it.
Radical Love or Radical Left?
Radical Love. Oh, come on. It's Radical Love.
Okay.
Radical Love.
Really?
Is it an autobiographical or is it like a fiction?
No, it's
nonfiction.
Autobiography.
Fiction.
Yeah, it was pretty much, he was saying on how he wanted to move away from LA to still be in the business but he wanted to get away, and so he moved to Texas, and then he started to get depressed, and then he thought he was done, and then he actually got cast for Shazam, and they thought they were like kind of playing a joke on him. this is like the first chapter, kind of. It's a really small book. It's like 180 pages, I think, so I could probably finish it in a couple hours. But I'm gonna look forward to finishing that. I actually played Ninja Turtles, and I have fully completed it. I have 100% the game, and that game is hard as hell, but I did it, guys.
Congratulations.
That game is. I don't know if any of you have played it yet, other than really Jonathan, but it's a doozy, man. I also got my Kickstarter the other day, which I plan on playing sometime this weekend because I got any of those who actually play board games. It's Dice Thrones. It's like a dice game with cards where it's like kind of like a Yahtzee roll and write kind of game where you roll your dice, you attack the person. The whole goal is just trying to kill person. And the Kickstarter version I got is actually the Marvel version. So maybe I will put some pictures on the Twitter for the people to see. Because it's actually, I unboxed it, and it's actually a really, really cool box. So
Gotta get that webcam so you can show. This was supposed to be the show and tell episode, apparently.
I wasn't aware. I'm showing and tell this nice Pac-Man right here for the people who are watching the YouTube video and not the Spotify or.
Okay, yeah, the creepy hand that's peeking out over Anthony's camera.
But
the most the internet gets.
Little master hand over here. You should wear a white glove when you do that.
Yeah, but I think that's about it. Oh, I was gonna start Umbrella Academy, but I never did. But I think that's about it. I think that's all I did this week. I didn't play a lot of games this week, other than Ninja Turtles. But now I can move on to something different because I have cowabunged it. So.
Is that the final trophy? Is that what it's called?
No. That's just...
Oh, that's what it was called.
Cowabunga.
No, it's a fun time if y'all plan on getting it. I imagine it's fun with people, but I've always
with friends. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody wanted to play, so I kept playing by myself. So, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. My bad. That's a nerd report. And moving on to the Nintendo Direct. Who actually did see it besides me and Jonathan? Is it just us?
I did as well.
You did,
and
Justin?
Justin.
And, Alvaro. I remember you made a comment too.
It's like an echo or like a time lapse or something.
Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah, because you already said that. Like.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
Joke.
Yeah, there's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
And so I guess the only thing I really wanted to say about it was I'm happy that the demo for Live Alive is coming out. That's probably one of the most interesting games I've seen for the Switch, besides the obvious ones like Super Smash Brothers and the Zelda game. And then shout out to Nier Automata coming to the Switch, like one of my favorite games. So yeah, those are the highlights for me. I mean, Nier Automata is just like a port, I guess, and then yeah, Live Alive looks really interesting. So that's my comments about the Nintendo Direct. That's pretty much it. It was decent though. I mean, I thought it was a decent Nintendo Direct. But yeah, who wants to speak on it next? It was a small Direct, so yeah, I understand.
But... It was like 30 minutes. I feel like they gave up a lot of games. Like
25.
Yeah, was it 25 games?
No. It was like 15 games.
Yeah, you meant 25 minutes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was 15 games.
Yeah.
Because
the Mario Rabbids game looks cool, but I just wouldn't play it though. It's not my style.
The original was really good.
I was gonna say I've never played the original, but I heard it's really good.
It's XCOM for kids. Pretty much.
It's what for kids?
It's XCOM for kids.
Oh.
What's like the genre of that game? It looks like
it's like an RTS.
It's
kind of
like
an
RTS.
Like an RTS, right? Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Mario fighting beside Bowser in that game? I feel like it breaks canon. It felt weird.
I mean, it's not the first time. If you've played any of the Mario RPG games that were on the DS, he's kind of semi-frequently teams up with Bowser when it's not the mainline stuff, because there's usually some other third villain that's actually a good villain. I mean, not that Bowser's a bad villain, and he just kind of does the same thing over and over again.
I mean, he's been failing for like 40 years, my dude.
Yeah. I mean, none of the other guys beat Mario either, but it's a more colorful cast of characters in the Paper Mario and then the Mario and Luigi Saga series of games. But I just hope that in this one there's like a bigger difference between the characters, because a lot of the characters in the first one were a little samey. But the combat, I need to watch the extended gameplay, but the combat looks like they added some extra stuff, and they're definitely leaning into that Mario Galaxy vibe, which will probably pull a lot of people, because I know there's a lot of people that are fond of Mario Galaxy games. For me, I really liked RPG Time, The Legend of Wright.
That looked cool too.
It looked really cool, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna add the games that I want, like wish list. It's only like $30, and it comes out in August, so I think I'll probably pick that one up. And I'm gonna try and play Live Alive demo by next week, but we'll see if that happens.
It's already out?
Yeah, it came out yesterday. A lot of the stuff is games that have already come out, but I mean, like Blanc looks cool. I mean, it's a black and white game, no audio, or I should say dialogue at all.
That was a standout for me. That's the one that looked most interesting to me.
It's one of those flower kind of games.
It definitely made Sonic Frontiers look better. Better than IGN did. And I'm surprised, George, you didn't the two more to the list of farming life simulator games that have been added.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Doraemon, which Doraemon Story of Seasons is actually the sequel, because this is the second one. And then it's funny because the last game, Harvestella, I was looking and I was like, okay, it's like Ruin Factory, and it didn't say who made the game. I was like, this looks like if Harvest Moon mixed with Final Fantasy, and then at the end, Harvestella made by Square Enix. I'm like, there it is. I knew I could feel it.
Yeah, but I don't know how they're doing it.
Yeah, for real, huh?
But there was just like a lot of showing up from a bunch of like different studios. I mean, you had like Pac-Man, a remake of an old Pac-Man game. A lot of people were actually happy to see. I never played the original.
I was gonna say you haven't.
And Mega Man. I haven't even talked about that, but that was I was hyped, and at that point I was like,
it was a Mega Man Battle Network collection.
Mega Man Battle Network collection.
All GBA games, right?
It was on the GBA and the DS.
They are very good.
And I've played most of them, not all of them, and they're my favorite. That's my favorite version of Mega Man. So like that was like the big thing for me. And so like I was really happy. This direct made me really happy overall.
You know what's funny is me and you literally talked about Mega Man like
we did
a week or two ago. Like not on stream or podcast, but we talked about it like a week or two ago. And we're like, man, what about a Mega Man game like the Mega Man Battle Network? And then there it is. It's a really good game.
It doesn't come out till next year, but I mean it's like 10 games, so
that Nintendo in this direct kind of did the same thing that Xbox did in their direct, with like all these games will be coming out within the next 12 months. But Nintendo Nintendo said all this year, and then they're like, check it out in February 2023. And I'm like, that's not this year.
I think all of these games come out in the next 6 months between now and.
I saw a lot of October releases.
There's a couple of them were 2023 though.
Yeah, there was a couple.
Yeah, well, I mean, it probably might be early. I think the Mega Man game will probably come out in like February, March. I don't know if it had a release date, but
I don't know if it's just the Disney in me, but I kind of want to play that Disney Dreamlight Valley game. I don't know, man.
I do.
It is the Disney in you.
Dude, it doesn't look terrible. I don't know, man.
It's
I
made
mean,
by Gameloft though, so I'm like really
mobile
hesitant
game.
about it.
yeah,
It's
oh yeah,
definitely a
for
mobile
sure.
game.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, this looks like this is the mobile game for sure. But like, I don't know. I was,
Lorelei and the laser eye.
and then I also kind of want to play Monster Hunter because
Yeah.
I want to kill giant monsters. But
You
Yeah.
need friends for that one too.
yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
there's
What are
Dragon
Well,
Quest.
we have
I-
the other Monster Hunter for the PlayStation 5. Like if you have a PlayStation 5, you just automatically get it. And from what I hear, that one's just better. It's just Monster Hunter Rise is just on the Switch.
Yeah.
No, a lot of people say Monster Hunter Rise is actually really good, but a lot of them
Monster
they're all
Hunter, but
good.
Monster Hunter World is like freaking good though.
I don't
can
know.
also
I
play
don't know.
Monster-
Well, the new one you'd have to get the expansion
Oh,
because like
Iceborne or something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
If you get Iceborne, I'm pretty sure it comes with both.
I was gonna say because you can play Monster Hunter on the computer as well. So
I want to play it, but it's a game that is best played with two, or with at least another person, and at most four.
and
I can't jump into it because it's kind of boring on my own.
none of us have friends here, so it's okay.
Well, it's a larger commitment. It's not like you can just play free to play, right?
Yeah, it's a huge time sink. Huge.
Yeah, like it's a game that you put like hundreds of hours in. So
Yeah.
most of you guys only like playing games that are like 20, 30 hours long at most. And
Like
that game
that's
doesn't
a
even
short
start.
game. Like that's
Yeah,
a short
and
time
like-
to play a video game.
Yeah. But like Monster Hunter doesn't even start getting going until like the 50th or 60th hour. That's the thing. Like you're still like, it's all about the end game for that game, and there's a ton of it.
It's like
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I can see maybe somebody who has played it more would agree with that. But
What? Agree with what? Or disagree with what?
I like the end game being the only fun part of that game because I really enjoyed.
No, I don't think it's all that's the only fun part. I'm just saying like it's a very big game, and like the early game is like usually for Monster Hunter it takes a while for it to get going. I think Monster Hunter World is the fastest one, but a lot of the other ones they're like like you have to put like a good chunk of time before you actually start really getting going.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, so yeah, do we want to give the Nintendo Direct a grade, the 25-minute Direct?
Did Alvaro?
Or yeah, I don't know, Alvaro, did you have anything to chime in on the games?
I just know there's a lot of ports, very few original games, a lot of stuff we've already seen before, as was mentioned earlier. So I wasn't very impressed.
well, they said that. At
I
the
mean,
beginning.
It's a
No.
third-party thing too.
No, I know it's a third-party thing, but it's a lot of games that I've already played. Like I've already played Nier Automata, I've already played Persona.
All
I
three
mean,
of them.
I know that's a big deal, but
Well,
those games are old.
I forgot
Persona's
about-
5 years old already.
You
Forgot about
have to
Persona,
realize
yeah.
though, and at least for Persona, that's been stuck behind the PlayStation wall for a long time. So, like, if you didn't play them on a PSP or a Vita,
I played it on a PC.
yeah, I know, but like, if you didn't play them on those, then you didn't really play them. They didn't start moving until recently onto PC and console.
But now that they're on Switch, are you gonna consider them?
I mean, I was playing Persona 5 already when we got it for free. It's pretty good.
Of course.
I think I would play it more on the Switch just because I can, mobile is my lifestyle right now. I don't have a lot of time.
It's
to sit
always
down.
been your lifestyle. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
You ain't gotta play with us. Come on.
yeah. But I mean, if I had the time, I would like to play it on the
Yeah.
TV. But it's just it's more convenient for me to play it on the go.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give the show more than the C. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst.
Not trying to defend Nintendo because I didn't watch it, but Alvaro, when has playing a game before stopped you from replaying it again?
I know. Last
Yeah,
of Us
no,
Part
but-
One.
I know you're ready to play Last of Us for the 47th time when the new one comes
It's a
out.
remake. It's a remake.
Who cares?
And I'm going for the platinum on Uncharted 4 currently right now.
Yeah.
And how many times have you beat that
But
game?
they're not 100 hours long, is what I'm saying.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah, Persona's really long, and it's
Yeah,
3 Persona games.
Your first run on Persona 5 will be 120 hours easy.
How did I didn't look into the Portal collection. I know this we were going into the rating system, but what
Yeah.
is that? Just like Portal 1 and 2, or
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
okay,
both.
games I already own slash
The,
played.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
why do you want to keep killing me?
Yeah.
If anything, it was worth it for just that quip. But,
I'll give it a B, for what it was.
Yeah.
I liked. I would give the Nintendo Direct a B. That was good.
I really want to give it an A, but I know it's not an A. It's just Mega Man that's really like pushing it forward. But I'm gonna give it a solid B plus. Like honestly, even if there's some stuff that's old ports, like the mobility factor is a big thing, and like I know the Steam Deck is a thing, but also there's like less Steam Decks in the wild than PS5s, so like, and there's millions and millions of people that have Switches, so there's still a large number of people that might not have played those games. But even with the three ports, there's still like, actually probably 4 ports. There's still like a whole bunch of other games that are not ports that look good. Like there's just a lot for a bunch of different people. So yeah, B plus.
All right, Justin, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like we're enjoying Anthony Diamond.
Sorry, I'm having legitimate PTSD right now.
I can't see you, Justin, but I know Max and I are watching Anthony, knowing that this is the hard part of the game.
I told him when he needed to jump. And...
No, don't tell him. Let him figure it out on his own.
I stopped watching it because I want to experience it firsthand when I play it, because I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
I would give it a solid B plus ish as well. Like, there's a couple games that I wanted to play, and obviously again Mega Man 2 is just really a big one. I want to play Harvestella because Stardew Valley, Stardew Valley is my life now. I am a farm streamer.
I've gotten both of my siblings hooked onto these games, and I'm proud of it.
All I gotta say is y'all better be there when Nightingale comes out. Okay, it comes out in a month now, and y'all better be there. Okay.
Nightingale is actually a game I wanted to play.
Yeah, I don't know if it comes out in a month or the demo's in a month. I can't remember. But
which one?
Nightingale. It's basically Valheim, first person Valheim. That's how I saw it.
Is that a PC game?
I think so.
Nightingale.
It should be on console too. Actually, I would think it's on console. But yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So So it sounds like we got a B. You said a B or B plus?
I would say like B plus.
Yeah. Okay.
I also want to play the Sonic game. I am a fan of the Sonic game. I actually showed Alexis the game, and she was hyped for fucking Bomberman. Like nobody mentioned Bomberman.
Oh my god!
I have Bomberman R.
I told her that, and I was like, hey, we actually have Bomberman. She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I love Bomberman, and I'm like, all right. So
I was gonna say that actually, like literally, like right before you said that, or right after you said that, because I actually kind of do like Bomberman too, but it's just something I like though. It's like not like huge news, I guess. It's just like I already know I like Bomberman, so yeah.
Bomberman's a good party game too, because you can play up to like 8 players, and then now you can create 15. Your own 15, and then you can create your own courses.
It looks like they had a new mode too, where it was like what do they call it? Asymmetrical.
Asymmetrical, yeah, like one versus everybody else.
Yeah, that looked kind of cool, but yeah. So there's our any last thoughts on Nintendo Direct, or else we will move on to Obi Wan.
Well, I was gonna say, the game I know me and Jonathan kind of talked to. I'm gonna do what Max said when he went to the Reddit game. I'm gonna be like, Nintendo, listen. They want to make money. They need to make a Golden Sun game, and then that shit will just sell. This is what I'm hoping for.
Nintendo, you're not listening. You're not listening.
Listen to me.
You have to drunkenly whisper it.
You have to put your hands to their cheeks and say it like this.
Listen to me, Nintendo. We'll ASMR it if we have to.
Yeah.
Golden Sun.
One of these days, I secretly hope that a Golden Sun game will show up. And
Oh, I would even be happy if they just did like a remake of the original. Like they don't even have to make a 4.
give
They
me
could
a
just-
I think it would be either the collection, either put it on the Nintendo shop or whatever, or they'll probably just do 1 and 2 and ship it out.
Yeah,
But you know,
I would want to see a ground up remake and just make 1 and 2 one game, and then do 3 like later. Because I think that would be the best. But even if it's just 1, if it's just a solid ground up remake of 1, I
give me
fucking
Golden
take my
Sun.
money.
Oh, he did it for now.
Yeah.
Give me Golden.
Sorry.
Give me Golden Sun and give me Chrono Trigger, and I'll be happy. That's all I need in this world.
I mean, Nintendo Chrono Trigger is never gonna happen. I don't know what Square is doing over there.
Square's
I thought they
dishing
did
out. Square's dishing out freaking new games left and right, dude. What you talking about?
I mean, but they're focused on Final Fantasy VII right now, like and new stuff. They're not gonna. Chrono Trigger is another massive undertaking. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay, but let's move on to the Obi Wan show though. Everyone here has seen the Obi Wan Kenobi show, and I have opinions, and I know we all are probably going to have agreeing opinions here, right, guys?
Reva's the best.
Maybe.
I'm gonna have the most controversial. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that controversial?
Yeah, he hates Star Wars.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's not a controversial, maybe for him, but in general, like.
Well, a lot of people are hating on it, so I was like, it's
Oh.
not even that bad. I mean, it's not great, but
It's
not
okay. If
it's
that's
not terrible.
If that's controversial, then I will potentially bring more spiciness. I actually liked the show overall. I actually did. The whole way through, I mean, there was issues with it, but not really big issues that I could complain so much about it. Like, mostly was good to me. And that's my overall thoughts. I'll leave it there, and we'll give everyone else a chance to talk before we get into more details. Anthony, how about you after you die? Let's take a break and then
You die.
take a break.
Next 2 seconds.
Yeah, what did you think of the
Obi Wan? Your game is AIDS. Is goddamn AIDS. If you can't get these
Hey,
jumps.
pause it real quick so the viewers at home can see how many times you've died so far while you're talking about Obi-Wan.
What are you at? How many times have you died? Go to the menu.
Bzz, bzz,
What is it?
500.
You just flashed it.
184? Is that what it said?
Everyone's gonna have to.
We'll ballpark that, you know.
You surpassed me.
Who has the worst?
I was at 177.
So is Max the worst up until now?
No, I don't think so. No.
Who died the
Anyways,
most?
I've hands down probably died. I'll probably die like another 200 times. Just because I'm impatient and I'll just sit there and I get frustrated and I'll just kill myself over.
I stand by
I was
what I
like-
said last week.
Watching you for the first 2 minutes, just do the same jump over and over into that side one.
All right. Sidetrack. Sorry, we got to stay on course. Overall, the show, I wish it was a little bit longer. I hate short episode, like like series like that. That's my only big narc on it. Aside from that, it was not too bad. That finale fight, you know, and yeah, I don't know. I was a little disappointed in overall the ending. I'm like, you're a goddamn liar, Vader. You're a goddamn liar.
Which parts? Okay, hold on. Before we
When
go,
he's speaking to the Emperor at the end.
hold on. This, if we didn't,
Goddamn liar.
we didn't say it before. This is definitely going to be a spoiler episode of Obi Wan Kenobi. So yeah, feel free to spoil anything from here on out. Come back to this episode if you haven't seen Obi Wan, or if you don't care about it, then yeah, join us. But yeah, spoil away.
Yeah. Reva, she's a piece of shit. He should have just sliced her head off. That's Vader's biggest flaw I've seen throughout the whole show is he doesn't know how to finish people off. He thinks just leaving them to suffer and die like he did is enough.
But he had the high ground.
He should have finished them. He should have walked down there and stabbed Obi-Wan right in the face.
It was Obi-Wan's final lesson because he did the same shit.
Yeah, so I just think that, like, you didn't kill Reva when she was a child. You let her lay there to bleed out and die or whatever. Did the same thing to her when she's alive. You didn't think she was going to die? Come on.
I mean,
it's
to
almost
be
like
fair,
it's almost like they was counting on her living. But yeah.
To be fair, if you impale a child with a laser sword in the abdomen, you think they're gonna die. Like, you don't expect them to have the gumption to like survive.
But the thing is, you see all these other people that die through like a late lightsaber to the chest or something like that, or the abdomen, and they just die instantly. But everyone else, nope.
Yep.
The Force works in mysterious ways.
Some people die really easily, and some people get cut in half and fall into an endless pit and still survive. Like, that's Star Wars.
I, for one,
That's
sorry.
the Force.
See, I for one am sorry for all the stormtroopers, man. They just die randomly, man.
For no reason, right?
For no reason. They're just minding their own business and they just get shot. And I'm like, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
They're Star Wars version of red shirts.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, he's still in there. Just tell him his kids are alive, and he's gonna come right back to the light side. I guarantee it. Like, but no, instead you drag it out. He fucking blows up planets and all this shit, and finds out about his kids way down the road and becomes light side again towards the end. Could have all been avoided, but Obi-Wan's a piece of shit.
I mean, it's not like there's movies that they have to like, connect to.
You know what's funny is I was talking to some of the people at my work, and they were talking the show, and they're like, "Man, I'm wondering how this is gonna end," and I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Like, does no one watch any of the stuff? Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, let's move on so we can get everyone's like thoughts out first, and then we can talk about the things that we agree on or disagree on. But let's go with Justin next, since you were kind of already mentioning some stuff.
I don't think it was terrible. I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, I feel like it's my same with episode 9. Like, I don't really know the story, so it was great for me. You know what I mean?
Great. That's a strong word.
Well, no, not great.
Yeah, you said great. You said great.
Yeah, you can't take it back.
I know, take backs.
I'm leaving that in.
Star Wars is great now.
Yeah. Okay. If that's all, then how about Alvaro? What are your thoughts?
I really liked. I mean, I didn't expect them to add in Leia, but at this point, like, who isn't gonna show up in the Star Wars thing? Especially if it's gonna be original trilogy shit. Like, I should have expected that. And that girl, she did a really good job. Will we see her in more stuff? Probably.
You mean Kid Leia?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we should. I mean, they're already milking this franchise.
She's just gonna be in some other Disney property. I don't think
it seems to be like whoever does like a good job gets their own spin-off at some point, right? So
yeah.
It's like they have these shows and
they'll
like
probably show up in the Ahsoka show.
Young Leia.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
You mean we're gonna get a Vader spinoff of just him crushing bitches and left and right?
He's gonna be searching the galaxy and just.
That's the God of War show.
Okay, how about Jonathan? I think you've already mentioned some of your thoughts, but
kind of.
Go ahead, keep going.
It's honestly, it needed more episodes. Like, I know they're like, shut up.
Don't talk to a kid like that.
Don't talk to Leia that way.
Talking to the dog. You can cut this out.
I should have made a better joke.
I'll cut out the part where you said it's your dog. I don't keep going.
It just felt like it was rushing to the finish line to get to that inevitable showdown. I know there was a lot of hate for Reva, but I don't think she was like terrible. I do think she was kind of pointless, and I don't know. She could have not been there, and I think the plot probably would have moved along the same way. She was just kind of, yeah. But I think the problem is that they did this whole like 6 episode thing, and it felt really rushed, and you're supposed to like care about these characters, and then like someone dies, and you've only known them for like an episode and a half or whatever, or 2 episodes, and it's not enough to. The writing wasn't good enough to like get you completely invested in some of these characters in that short period of time. I think it could have benefited from maybe like a 10 episode, or like maybe like, I know Disney Plus doesn't do like 13, but like the FX like length would have probably been really good for this show. Like I think it would have benefited a lot better than trying to squeeze everything into 6 episodes. The final episode really pulled it up though. Like the finale was really good, but it kind of like meandered in the middle. Kind of stuff happened. Nothing happened, and then a lot of stuff happened.
All right.
Overall, like I said, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't great either.
Yeah. Okay. How about Max? I guess get your thoughts out, and then we'll start talking about. We'll start debating each other, I guess, after that.
I enjoyed it for the most part, but I did like it less and less the further it went on. Like, I know a lot of people think that the finale is like the better episode, but to me, it was not. I was not a huge fan of the finale. I liked the early stuff more, and I don't know when we want to go into details, but mostly for the finale, there was zero tension for any of it because all they did was pit characters that nothing will happen to them against each other. And like all of that was very boring to me. Like I liked the first half stuff just because it seemed like it was new material, at least for the Obi Wan character. The Leia stuff grew on me. I didn't care for it at the start, but it got a little more interesting. Like it was kind of like that thing where like once the kid starts to not become like extra baggage, but starts to pull their own a little bit, then they become more interesting. But a general thing is just like I liked it for the most part, but yeah, it did have issues.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess we'll get into like the detailed parts now. Things that I've heard from you guys. Riva was kind of pointless, and unfortunately, I kind of agree with that. I thought her acting was like not the problem. It just seemed like it just seemed like her whole arc in the whole show.
Her character in general, it wasn't the act. The actress did good. It's just her character was like irrelevant. Like why even bring her into this?
And then at the end, like what was the point of her going after Luke? Like
she might kill him.
Well, but I mean, like
she found out that like that was Vader's son. Though
that little thing didn't say that it was Vader's son though. That message never said it. They just mentioned a boy. Like
it didn't, but like that's what I implied. Like that she understood. I guess.
I mean I think that's what they were going for, but like how? Like I don't feel like there was enough information like throughout the series for her to connect those dots. Like it was never connected that Leia was his daughter. Like how can she make that jump? Oh, she's talking about the girl and the boy. Oh, what he's on Tatooine. Is it because she knows that he's from Tatooine? Is that why she made that connection? Like I like that part was like they should have just let her die, but they didn't, and then they were like, oh, like we still have a lot more episode left. What are we gonna do with her? So we're gonna go send her to the desert. For a pointless standoff.
I think that part was to draw Obi-Wan, just because he kind of bailed on her there when she got stabbed. Like he left her alone with Vader. I feel like she had the thought that he might help her, just because he was trying to convince her that maybe together, if they worked as a team, they could get him. And then he kind of just bailed on the spaceship while she was stuck there by herself.
And I know she's supposed to, like, if they have a season 2, because I know they want to do a season 2, like, maybe she'll have a redemption arc and, like, she'll be, like, a light side or, get over her anger. I mean, they both, what's his face, Obi-Wan and Anakin, they both said they want to do season 2 of the show. Whether it gets made or not will remain to be seen.
I was gonna say it's money, man.
Well, here's the thing though, because this one wasn't well received, and they got everybody to watch on the premise of Obi Wan this time, and
It wasn't.
not everybody like will a season 2 like after how bad it was received this time. Will they have the goodwill to come back and watch a season 2?
I feel like you think that people think that it's worse than they are actually saying that it is.
This is your first foray into Star Wars.
I have seen a lot of.
I mean, it's not my first foray to Star Wars.
You gotta realize that if you're a Star Wars fan, you hate Star Wars. Like that's just first and foremost. Like
I mean, I hate Star Wars because of the fans, pretty much.
Well, but that's why. Like it just becomes like a toxic place, no matter how good it is. Like it's gonna be shitty to someone.
But are they gonna watch it? Are they just gonna watch it?
Yeah,
it's Star Wars, even
like,
if they hate it.
They will cry about all of it, and they will watch every single second of it. Any show that comes out, they will cry about it, but they will watch it.
I feel like, was it episode 3 with the mole guy that was Seth Rogen?
That was Zach
Braff. Is it Zach Braff?
Yes.
Was it Zach Braff?
Yeah.
Yes.
It sounded like Seth Rogen kind of.
It's a 10 out of 10 show now.
It's JD Scrubs 10 out of 10.
The planet that was mined for all of its worth before it was completely abandoned is a very good metaphor of what Star Wars is right now.
That's so deep. That's so deep.
Damn.
Like I don't want a season 2 because honestly I feel like they're just gonna shoehorn all of it until the final season of Obi-Wan is like 4 days before A New Hope happens. Like they're just gonna progressively get closer and closer and closer to that story, and they just need to stop because all the characters had to be, at least the main surviving characters, had to act really stupid in order to get through the show. Like they all had plenty of chances to kill the other one, but they can't because there's already another movie later down the line where they're all...
Because emotions, Max, emotions. They're not over. They're skeletons. They're burnt lava skeletons.
That was my big issue with it.
And then Darth Vader at the end, he's like living in a sea of fire. Like,
I know there's people that are saying that like this wasn't a good show, but I'm also comparing it to like everything that Disney's put out, and like everything that Disney's put out for Star Wars, this is probably the third best thing I think that they've done. I mean, like I'm thinking like Rogue One, The Mandalorian, and then probably this show. That's...
Are you counting all of the stuff Disney's done, or just the Disney Plus?
Star Wars. The Disney Star Wars.
Too?
What was that?
Because
I mean the movies too.
Yeah.
Third. You think that's the third best?
I think you're wrong.
That's really high.
Yeah. Yeah. Like so they've made the sequel
so Rogue
trilogy
One would be the best.
Yeah.
And then Mandalorian, right? And then you think after Mandalorian, it's this show?
Yes.
You're high as hell.
Wait, Rise of Skywalker's not in that list.
Get out of here, okay? Get out of here.
I know
you're
where's Visions?
Yeah.
Do the animated shows count too? Because isn't the animated show actually really good?
Yep.
I don't know how you haven't seen that, Jonathan.
I like them, but
because it's really hard to get invested in Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, for Jonathan, like if you watch Clone Wars, but if you watch Clone Wars, that's like 7 seasons of 20 episodes.
It's a lot,
and he doesn't like Star Wars enough that I don't imagine him wanting to sit through that.
If it's good enough, I can appreciate it because it's like I appreciate like good animation, and I know the Clone Wars stuff is actually supposed to be really good. But yeah, it's Star Wars, and I don't really care. Like, and I've watched all the movies, well, most of the movies at least once. The original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, and episode 7. I never watched 8 and 9. I need to watch Rogue One because it's good. I do think that the original Star Wars is worth watching at least once. Like, it's not a bad movie. It was ahead of its time when it was released. But yeah, Star Wars fans make it really hard to want to even be a part of that.
I love Star Wars, and I hate Star Wars fans. So take that how you will.
Yeah.
They're the worst,
And
especially Anthony.
I fully acknowledge. I fully acknowledge that this whole show was really just like fan service, but in my opinion, like it was fan service done at least in a way better way than they have been doing so far.
I enjoyed the special effects in that final scene with Vader after he gets his helmet slashed, and it's like jumping back between Hayden and James Earl Jones.
You know, I don't think I was ready for that scene.
That was really cool, like the overlapping voice. But like James Earl Jones was the best part of that show. Like the dude is hella old, and he sounds like his lines are not shaky at all.
Do you know why his lines aren't shaky at all?
Why?
Because it's a computer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he still said it. He still did it.
Well, no, they filtered his voice through like an AI, and pretty much typed in whatever they wanted him to say.
Interesting.
Because they did that with Luke also in when he pops up in Mandalorian or Boba Fett, the Mandalorian episode of Boba Fett.
Well, the technology's really good because he sounded really good. And all that whole fight that they were showing, that was new footage, right? I mean,
new fight?
The flashback fight. That wasn't like from the originals, right? They like
the training one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been
that was new.
They did a good job of not making them look old.
Yeah.
And then I know George is interested in this part of the show, but I did not like that I can now tell when they are using the volume to film stuff and when they are not. And that kind of bothers me because it kind of cheapens it now. I don't know if it's because they are just like fully dependent on it now on all the shows that I can tell when they're using fake backgrounds and when they're not, but it kind of annoyed me by how much I could tell that they just did not leave a studio to do stuff.
What were the like telltale signs for you? Like
just like you can see that it to me like it just some of the stuff looks cheap.
Any scene where Leia's running.
Like when she's running, and then I mentioned it a couple weeks ago when I was talking about one of the episodes, but when they do the dopey, we're gonna hide you in my coat and no one's gonna notice thing when they're trying to rescue Leia from the prison. That sequence when Reva is like running after them to catch the spaceship, you can completely tell that she is in a studio because she's like trying to look like she's running fast when she's not really. And then the one that I hinted at last time was, I think it was the first episode when those I don't know if they were bounty hunters, they were chasing Leia through the forest. You can tell that they are running as slow as they can while trying to look like they're running as fast as they can.
Yeah. It was both of those chase scenes with her, though. That was in the first episode, towards the end of the first episode, and then when they're chasing her in that other dirty Vegas city.
Yeah, but like I don't know if it's just because that's all that they use on all the shows now, but I can start to tell what stuff that they are doing that on. And it's not ruining the enjoyment, but I read that each episode costs like $25 million to make, and I'm kind of like starting to get confused as to where the money's going. I don't know if it's just on the digital
actors.
It's going into pockets.
And I also think that that's why all the shows are fewer episodes, is because I think they only have one of those studios, so they have to try to cram in different people, different sets, different images, because I know they started renting that out to movies and stuff, because I know they used it for the Batman, the recent one, that they used that room for it. But I think that's why they also might be trying to cram so much into so little, is because like they just have like a full list of crew members and stuff from different projects that they're trying to cram into that room. Because yeah, to my knowledge, they only have one of those rooms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, I think it was also said that some of us wanted the show to be longer too. I'm not so sure. Like I will say that I could have used maybe a little bit more of the show because I liked it, but I almost, I don't know, like some of the stuff that they had like seemed like I just didn't need it though. Like the Reva stuff, I kind of liked Reva as an Inquisitor more than an Avenger, I guess. So yeah, and
But that's like
I'm like kind of mixed on like it being
it was
longer.
a pacing issue though.
Yeah, if they were gonna do that with her, they should have had like. That's why I say they should have more episodes. If you're gonna have these characters be as involved in the story as they are, you need to give it a little bit more time to go into their details or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
what I think you're.
And I hate that because it reminds me of anime where they have those filler episodes, which I think that's why they did it. They didn't want to have a filler episode of just her backstory, but they could have did something with it.
It doesn't need to be like filler. It just needs to be fucking written better, and the pacing needs to be like good, because the pacing is all over the place in that show.
I agree
needed at least a couple more episodes. I think would have done it better, just so they can kind of make you care about some of the characters more. I mean, like, even they introduced those fucking the people that were on the path. Like, it would have been cool to like see more of that stuff too, but it's just it just feels like they're shoehorning stuff in just to get Obi-Wan from point A to point Darth Vader death battle.
I mean, that's the show though.
Yeah,
right.
So I agree with you.
It wasn't done in a good way.
So I agree with you guys in that the like the character development for like a lot of these side characters like was not there, and my argument for like not wanting it to be longer was that like I don't trust them to write better to like to make this any longer, to like make those characters better, right? Like I'm kind of thinking like don't try to I'm kind of like leaning towards like don't try to make their deaths like more dramatic, because we didn't care about them, but like that wouldn't, I don't think, take away from like the stuff that was cool in the show, which was basically just like the fan service stuff.
Yeah,
and I think that also that the more episodes you write, I think you have a bigger chance at accidentally conflicting with something that happens later. So I think that's why they have to try to keep it concise. That's why I don't understand why they're now talking about a potential season 2.
Yeah,
because I've said this since all of this stuff started. Just leave it alone and do something new. Like, stop relying on the old stuff. The only reason I gave the show leeway is just because I felt Ewan McGregor kind of got shafted with how the prequels came off. Because I do think out of everything, he is good in those movies. So I am happy that he did get a chance, because he even showed in the show like he's still a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think over time the prequels have like grown on me a little bit, but
no, they haven't. Shut up.
I still hate them the worst, but I think they've grown.
They're not the worst.
You're the worst.
I know.
Yeah. My internet disconnected.
Oh,
but I would be curious to see how it would play to like a kid if you showed them everything in order. Like, I wonder if
in chronological order,
or yeah, like if you started them with Phantom Menace and you made your way through, that way there's a chance they don't know that Obi-Wan maybe survives the show, or that maybe Luke is actually in danger. Because like I hated all of that in the finale, just because, like I said, there was zero tension to any of that. because Reva was the only original character I think that was involved in any of the climax of that, and everyone else is already like that they're going to move on. But I would like to see them finally try something new. And according to Taika Waititi, he's doing one of the next movies, and he said his stuff is a completely original thing.
Yeah, I saw that too.
It's not going to be based on any previous movies, characters, or anything. Like, it's just going to be its own thing. So
yeah, they need to leave the original
past behind.
Yeah.
Kill it if you have to.
Turn your butt to the past.
Ryan Johnson tried that like 6 years ago, and
but that was not the right time to do that because
why?
Because the new trilogy was still part of the Skywalker saga. Like, it's still attached. Like, you can't just end with 7 and then instead of go like this, you go like this, and then the last one is like I'm gotta come back. I gotta try and course correct. Like, if they were gonna let him do that, he should have just like let him do his own thing.
Okay, well, I think you need to watch The Last Jedi before your comments because they do have the original characters and it is part of the story, but they do leave it off in a way that they could have totally gone in a different original idea.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you have to watch the movie.
Yeah, watch the movies, man.
Their best bet is to just leave everything Skywalker related behind. And yeah, Darth Vader's shadow is going to hang over everything for all time because he's just that good of a villain.
And they need to get rid of him entirely too.
Yeah, but like
they have erase him from canon,
They just need
not erase him, just like
I really like what they did with him for the show. So
they don't even have to be in the same universe. Like, they could just make a new Star Wars movie that's not connected to. Could be just another Star Wars movie with new characters and everything. Like,
you mean just move it along the timeline when there was no like.
Have an idea. Star Wars multiverse.
No.
Well, that's what I seen. Someone said that they want to do. They want to.
You watched all the Rebels yet, have you?
That's a terrible idea. I didn't.
What I seen someone they want to do a series like the DC animated universe and do Star Wars Legends, like the comic book Star Wars Legends, and do like all that, like other like fun stuff that people like that are in the books that they like to ignore.
They're not ignoring it though.
No, to be honest, if there's an idea that starts off with the fans want this, they should just not do it.
Yeah,
that's probably a horrible idea.
Look at how DC ended up trashed.
I don't. Well, no, but like that's the live action. DC's animated stuff is really good, and I'm not even like a DC fan, but like I still like watch clips of Justice League. Like, I hate Superman, but like that old stuff, even the new stuff, all the animated stuff is really good, and I think Star Wars can benefit from like that style of animation. Not necessarily those stories but
the DC stuff like based off of previous like comics, like the animated movies, or there already comic books about that?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
They have like an entire timeline. Like,
I want to say yes. There's like they do like event stuff from the comics, but like
Disney could reverse this, but I know that they said like all the spin-off books and stuff that have been written before are just like banished into nothing. Like they don't exist to the thing anymore.
That was when they first bought it. They did that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just started to bring stuff back. But yeah, like, and any idea that I've heard, the fans want this, like, it just sounds like the worst idea to me. And I'm sorry, Anthony, but I'm throwing your idea in there because I think I think that's a very boring take of let's make a show of Darth Vader so he can just force choke bitches.
Well, you don't like him just wrecking
No.
bitches? Come on.
No, that's not a show.
I would spend hours just watching that. Just him just.
That's nothing.
Make it.
That's a video game.
Okay, here's a novel idea. Here's a novel idea. Make the show about Vader, kind of, but he's just like do a horror element where it's more focused on like the people, like just great new smaller characters.
It's Sam Raimi to do a
yeah,
Vader
just
show.
like Vader is just a terror, and like he is murdering people, but it's not really about him. It's about the people he's impacting.
The thing I would do, and I think they're going to do it with I don't know if it's a movie or a series, Andor. Just do about the Mandalorian Wars. Go back all the way then. Go back with like pre-Sith, like where Sith founded all the Sith temples and stuff. Go back to like those timelines where there's no mention of Skywalker or anything like that. It's all
I'm
like,
down with that.
Predated. Like there's so much stuff they can do.
They don't even need to stay on this a lot of people say they can stay in Star Wars and just go somewhere else. Like how far did the Empire reach? Like not the whole universe. Like there's got to be like some other part, another galaxy, a second galaxy far, far away, where other stuff is happening that doesn't have anything to do with the stuff that we know. And also, question.
But how would you show Tatooine?
You wouldn't. You wouldn't show anything. You just show new planets, new characters.
Because they find a way to bring it back to that.
No.
I technically agree with you, but yeah, they'd have to try to hook people to watch it. I don't think they'll have a hard time.
I mean, just make it good. It'll hook people.
But they have stuff that people would want to watch. That's what I'm saying. The timeline has so much material and new characters that.
Here's the thing that people. Do you trust them to take good stuff and create content out of it?
You saw Boba Fett.
And?
It was horrible. And Jon Favreau was partially behind that as well.
Partially, not fully.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, it's the same like creative team for Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Did Boba Fett.
With action figures.
But I'm just saying, I just think that they, like Boba Fett, there's nothing much. They should have instead of doing that story, they should have had him going out and doing missions and shit.
Where's the Mandalorian time in the timeline?
I'd have to look it up.
Is it in between the?
It's after.
It's after.
After 3 or after 6?
After Return of the Jedi and 6.
Yeah. So it takes place between 6 and 7, and that's a large gap of time.
Wait, wait. The Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's after the fall of the Empire. It's after Return of the Jedi.
And
Boba Fett's... Oh wait, no. I thought that I was like Boba Fett's dead though, but he's not.
No, he's not because
he's not. Yeah, I forgot. Holy shit.
Because he has a jetpack.
Yeah, I know. I totally forgot.
It takes 5 years after Return of the Jedi and 9 years after New Hope.
Yeah.
Just go somewhere else. If the Star Wars name, like I feel like if they say we're making a new Star Wars with new characters and a new location, I think that's enough to get Star Wars fans like interested enough because they don't have to worry about them ruining the stuff they already love.
Honestly, this whole discussion could be brought back to what was said at the start of this, which is no matter what you make, Star Wars fans will hate it.
Yeah, true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I personally like Anthony's idea the best, so I kind of do want to see like way in the future with like the Mandalorians and stuff.
A history.
Yeah.
Past.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of doing the same thing with Game of Thrones right now, right? It's like they're showing.
Yeah, they're going way before everything happened in Game of Thrones, which is what they do. I think that's what a lot of fans want. I think that's why I liked. I'll go back to this topic all the time. Knights of the Old Republic. It's all pre stuff. All pre before all that stuff, where everything was. You're seeing Sith Lords from hundreds of years in advance or from the past. You
can
how they became.
Even if you watch Clone Wars and Rebels, they do have a lot of stuff there that has to do with the previous Jedi temples and stuff. And in those shows, that stuff is the most interesting stuff to me because it's all new. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they explore those a lot in the games too, I think, which kind of makes those really cool. They could make a movie about Darth Plagueis.
The wise.
The wise.
The best,
Still secretly holding out hope for a Knights of the Old Republic movie, whatever. Just
the best part of that show was
Not
when
gonna happen.
he pulled the fucking plane out of the sky.
That
And
was
just ripped that
pretty.
shit apart.
That was gangster, dude. That was gangster.
There's
he's like,
always.
where are you going? Come back here.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the newer stuff, like the most memorable scenes are just Darth Vader fucking
Showing his
being
powers.
just showing his strength, like, because you don't really see that in the original trilogy.
Have you guys seen the meme going around of like all the characters, I guess, in the Star Wars that have tried to pull planes down and they struggle? I guess like when Rey tries to pull one of the planes down in one of the movies, and then they go over to like another one when somebody tries to do it, and then they just pan over to Darth Vader and he just pulls that shit out of the sky, and
He
he's like,
pulls it out of the sky and then tears a hole in it in like one swift motion.
Yeah, Anthony, maybe which I think there was a game where I think it was a trailer for a game where this like Sith Lord or some Jedi pulled a whole Star Destroyer out of the sky, and it crashed like right in front of him. It was like
wasn't
I know.
Max.
It's Force Unleashed 2.
It was Force Unleashed, right? Yeah. Or like he just like pulls it out of the sky. And he's just like standing there, and like it stops like right in front of him.
You have to push X a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that actually happens in the game. I thought that was just a trailer. Holy
No,
shit.
it's like one of those. I don't know what they're called. Like it's
Slow
like
motion
events.
where it's an interactive scene.
Yeah,
Quick,
it's
quick,
like
quick time event.
QTEs.
Quick time
Quick
event.
time
Yeah,
event,
there you
yeah.
go.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh,
But
QT. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I thought that scene with Vader was cool until he decided not to pull down the second ship that took off.
Yeah, I was
I
like,
know,
come on,
right?
dude.
What the hell? Also,
He's like, well,
yeah.
I screwed up on this one.
He
You can get
need-
away.
He needed a breather. Like
Yeah.
Charge
he
that-
used all his strength on the first plane.
You know,
he
he
had
needed
to
to recharge that.
There's a
that-
cooldown. There's a cooldown.
also, when you demonstrate that type of strength, it kind of makes it seem like you could just like rip anybody in half with your force powers too.
He could.
Like, why-
If he
why
wanted to, he
bother-
could just crush you.
Yeah,
They're
why
like,
bother
yes.
with lightsaber fights, right?
Makes it more interesting.
Yeah, well, whatever. Also, yeah,
Give them hope.
going back to that fight too. I kind of mentioned it earlier too. I don't think I was ready to watch Darth Vader get messed up like that. Because like in my head, like Darth Vader's like invincible. It's like I don't know if I was ready to like see him get like jacked up by Obi Wan Kenobi, like just right after he got over his like PTSD.
Yeah.
So
There is a part in that fight where I burst into laughter, and I probably wasn't supposed to. It's when he's like throwing the boulders at
Temper
Darth Vader.
tantrum with the rocks.
Oh, but Darth Vader. This is gonna be for the video, but Darth Vader's like in the corner with his lightsaber. Like I can just hear him screaming, "Stop!"
I know. Take my lunch money. Just take it.
Oh. It looked goofy to me. That's why I laughed. It
Yeah.
looked ridiculous.
Yeah,
And I thought that in that sequence, that's when Mr. Liam Neeson would pop up. I thought he was gonna pop up when Obi-Wan was covered with the rocks and pretty much tell him like, "Stop being a bitch and lift this stuff up." But,
He's just,
but
yeah.
but instead, I think that was too much work for Liam Neeson. So they're just like,
They
he
didn't
wasn't-
offer him enough money.
He
We're just
was
gonna put
always
you-
there. He just wasn't ready to see him.
"We're just gonna put you in at the end to say you need to walk this way."
Yeah, his daughter wasn't
Yeah,
taken, so
That was.
anyway.
I mean, it was cool to see Qui-Gon, but like at the same time, it's like really, like
And he must
why?
he must be pissed because he's the only dude to get stabbed in the chest and die immediately.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it was different.
it was a
it
little
was
different in the
He
90s.
was-
Yeah,
he
they
wasn't as
wasn't.
strong.
It wasn't Disney back then.
a little kid decided to live longer than him, had more willpower.
And they also
Not only did
it
Reva
was
get stabbed in the
fueled by
chest.
rage.
Yeah, Reva got stabbed in the chest and went straight on a plane to Tatooine to go chase that little kid.
Like, and they kind of retconned it too, though. Isn't it one of the newer series where he's just like a force voice? Like he says that he can't materialize
know.
physically because his training wasn't complete.
Qui-Gon, you mean?
Yeah. Like
I thought Qui-Gon was a master, but he also does. I thought he does materialize a few times in the Clone Wars show.
I don't think he's visually pops up. I think they just do his voice. I don't know where it's at. I just know that somewhere, and I'm assuming it's animated. So somewhere in the Clone Wars, he doesn't pop up. He says that it's because his training wasn't fully complete, so he can't physically manifest in the Force.
They even have it in like the before the first episode on the previously on Star Wars segment that they did before the first episode.
Yeah.
But at the end of Revenge of the Sith, Yoda tells Obi-Wan that he's going to send him to the desert to watch the kid and also learn how to interact with his old master.
Oh. Interesting.
So maybe it wasn't Qui-Gon. Maybe it was just like Obi-Wan wasn't.
Yeah. Apparently the whole time of Obi-Wan saying, "Please talk to me, was him saying, "I don't want to see you."
I don't know if I buy that whole like training wasn't done though, because
but it's literally in actual like the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, like
so
Luke, I don't want to believe that Luke ever finished his training either though. He only like trained for like a few days with freaking Yoda, right? So
but
I don't know how long that timeline was.
He lived a long life after the end of the.
Yeah.
Well, he finished his training. I mean, he became a master once he trained Rey.
Or he was already a master when he trained Rey, right?
I guess when you're the only Jedi, you just claim that you're the master, right?
What's his name? Ben Solo didn't.
I think he was a master because he had the school for training Jedi.
I don't know what the Star Wars rules for masters, and is it like you have to have an apprentice?
You have to train him all the way from a Padawan to knighthood.
You have to train them, and then all the old people have to sit in a round circle and tell you whether you're a master or not.
Yeah, like Anakin never became a master, and I don't understand how they consider Rey, because they say Rey, if you look it up, that she's considered a master. I'm like,
because she's
how?
She's technically the best Jedi because she's the only Jedi.
Because she's a Mary Sue.
It's because she's a Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen that meme where she even makes fun of her Skywalker labeling?
No, but good. I'm glad she does.
Yeah, she's like, my name? Oh, it's Rey Skywalker. Well, technically it should be Rey Palpatine, but I never knew my father, and he was a bad guy. So like Luke was kind of a father to me, but he was kind of a dick to me. But still, yeah, Rey Skywalker. So she was like, yeah, kind of mocking it a little bit. Yeah, but Luke was kind of a dick to me.
Yeah, he was angry, and that's why that's not my Luke Skywalker.
Wow.
All right. Well, anyway, I think we're just getting to memes now. Any last thoughts about Obi Wan Kenobi?
Doesn't need a second season at all. I don't think
Agreed.
so. No,
Agreed.
I don't.
Agreed. Yeah, it doesn't need a second season.
So we know it's gonna get one.
And we want more original stuff, which I can't argue with that either.
Go back to the Sith Temple, Jedi temples. Yeah.
We need a what, Alvaro?
Jar Jar Binks show.
Oh God, please no.
That's the other stupid. That's the other stupid thing that would happen if fans got what they wanted.
Jar Jar Binks would be a Sith Lord.
Yeah, so stupid.
It would be a Saturday morning cartoon.
I hate Star Wars fans.
Okay, well, that's our episode. Thank you for watching this far in Last Time Online. Make sure you join us next time online when we port this podcast over to the Nintendo Switch.
Hey,
bye.
Later. 232 deaths.
Thank you for listening, but before you go, please make sure to like and subscribe to our show. And leave a comment with whatever thoughts you may have. We record a new episode of Last Time Online every week, so keep an eye out for the latest episode. From time to time, we stream on Twitch, so if you would like to see how we act while we are gaming, go over to our channel and give us a follow. We are sponsored by Dubby Energy Drink. Dubby gives you the focus so that you can just be better at video games, all while having no jitters or crash. Click on the link in the description for a 10% discount on your orders on us. We love taking feedback from our audience, so if you have a question for us, you and your question could be featured in our next episode. Check links in the description for ways to reach us and also where to follow each of us on social media. See you next time online.